Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
A deal for dreamers. I'm Hannah Doba with more on President Trump and top Democrats' possible agreement to protect young undocumented immigrants from deportation.
And the blacktail fire in the Crazy Mountains is fanned by winds, and there's a new evacuation order in Glacier National Park. Updates on both and a debate on how to manage forest fires and prevent those fires. That's all coming up. Good morning and welcome to your Thursday. I'm Missy O'Malley. Chet Lehman will have our forecast in just a moment, and Matt is doing evening weather this week. An agreement on DACA appears to be in the works, protecting undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as young children. The president and Democrats who hammered out a plan may also have agreed on a way forward to border security. But as Hannah Doba explains, the wall that the president wants to build seems to remain a sticking point.
A deal may have been reached on DACA. Top Democrats on Capitol Hill say they've made an agreement with President Trump to protect certain immigrants brought illegally to the U.S. as children.
I have a love for these people, and hopefully now Congress will be able to help them and do it properly.
That was the president last week, asking for a bipartisan solution for the nearly 800,000 young people who had been protected from deportation and allowed to work legally in the country. After dinner with the president at the White House Wednesday night, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer released a statement saying, quote, "We agreed to enshrine the protections of DACA into law quickly." Earlier in the day, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders was asked about the president bypassing Republicans and negotiating with Democrats.
I think it's less about him needing them, but as more about the president wanting to work with them and wanting to help move this country forward.
The two Democrats also said a border security deal was worked out, a plan that does not include a wall on the Mexican border. The White House quickly disputed that, with Sanders tweeting, quote, "While DACA and border security were both discussed, excluding the wall was certainly not agreed to." Hannah Doba, CBS News.
Now, several members of Congress and of Democrats and Republicans who attended an earlier meeting at the White House spoke to reporters, saying that they left with the impression that Trump agreed to work separately on a deal for the wall. So more to follow on that. And days after Hurricane Irma tore through Florida and left millions without power, people are slowly beginning to return. They're finding some of their homes in ruins in the hardest hit neighborhoods, and the struggle to now get back to normal is just beginning. CNN's Kristen Holmes is in Naples on the ground.
Recovery underway for areas impacted by Irma. Some places remaining piled with debris, making access difficult. Others still flooded and rescues still going on.
Two ladies were hollering, and they were in water almost up to their shoulders. I have no idea how they got there.
Utility companies working to restore power, but millions still without electricity. Sweltering temperatures making life uncomfortable and difficult. The heat plus a lack of power for air conditioning may have played a part in the death of elderly residents of a Hollywood, Florida nursing home. A criminal investigation underway, and authorities asking first responders to check residents in other assisted living facilities.
People are just absolutely shocked that someone in a staff would not know enough that a frail elderly person is dying of heat exhaustion and would at least know to dial 911.
All of this as the state hosts some high-profile visitors. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump in Southwest Florida Thursday to see the devastation firsthand.
Hey, kind of tough stuff to watch.
Absolutely true. I am going to show you something we haven't been able to show you for a little while. Here is a radar, live radar right now from Montana. Take a look at that. That's some moisture falling out there right now. We have some rain showers falling in parts of the Treasure State right now. We'll see more of that as our day goes on. Taking a look at our current conditions, I'll tell you all of it except Dennis. That's a super secret. We can't share that number with you. It's actually 45. I don't know why it's not on there, but I'll give it to you anyway. No, it's not a secret. 37 right now in West Yellowstone, 50s for Butte and Bozeman. That's all you're going to get today, too, is 50s for the most part. Might get it up to 60 in the Bozeman area, but rain showers this afternoon. A little breezy in Butte this morning. We're going to see gusty winds at times. Rain showers will blow in, and then temperatures are going to fall. Detailed forecast in 10 minutes from the Villian Auto Weather Patio.
Much needed, because we're still talking about wildfires. The blacktail fire burning in the Crazy Mountains has grown to about 5,000 acres now. The wind has made it unsafe for aircrafts to gauge a more accurate acreage on that fire. Now about 100 people are on the scene, with more arriving. No structures have been threatened, but the fire is close to a ranch hand.
The country up in where this fire is certainly funnel that wind and make it even stronger. That steep and rocky terrain is certainly set up quite a few challenges for the folks that are out there. And that has certainly, hampered what we can do with our firefighters, the country that we can put them in, and the type of line that we can put on the fire.
Now in western Montana, sheriff's deputies and Glacier National Park rangers are going door to door with evacuation warnings for Apgar Village and West Glacier due to the Sprague fire. Now earlier, mandatory evacuation orders affecting parts of Glacier National Park still do remain in effect. And Senator Steve Daines focused on fires and forest management at a tele-town hall meeting last night. Now according to Daines, Montana forests have as much as 5 million acres of either dead or dying timber.
We can reduce the risk, the frequency, the severity of them by better forest management practices, and it ought to be a layup. It ought to be absolutely the easiest thing to say. If you have dead and dying timber, why can't we go in and harvest that timber? One of two things is going to happen. Either we're going to thin those trees out and take them and use them, or it's going to burn. I mean, that's the two choices.
Senator Daines says that on September 27th, the Senate committee will hold a hearing on a bill that would reverse the statute, a Ninth Circuit court ruling that halted U.S. Forest Service projects. Senator Jon Tester also supports that bill. And Senator Jon Tester is also pressing Congress to recognize the Montana wildfire disasters and adopt a new forest policy. Tester took to the Senate floor yesterday with an eye on changing federal funding to fight wildfires.
Congress must pass legislation to end the broken way that we fund wildfires so that we can treat wildfire funding just like the natural disaster that it is. The Forest Service must have the tools to go through a public process so that we can cut more trees and remove the dead and dying debris that fuel these fires.
Tester ended his remarks with a call to address a bigger topic, saying that it's a long time that the Senate it has been a long time that they need to have an honest debate about climate change. And it's been unprecedented wildfire season, as we all know, one that's gripped Montana entirely. Families have been displaced. Dedicated firefighters have worked tirelessly on those front lines. But with the devastation, there's also been an outpouring of support and generosity as Montanans look to pick up the pieces and help each other move forward. Fire relief donations are pouring in, and small businesses in Whitefish are making a big impact to support fellow Montanans. The Montana Shirt Company is donating the proceeds from its Montana Strong shirt design to those affected by this year's wildfire season and the MTN Wildfire Relief Fund. Dave and Natalie Elliott, who own the company, said that their first 4 days of the campaign, they raised $25,000 for Montanans in need, and more money keeps pouring in. The Elliots say that people from all over the country have been ordering shirts in support of relief efforts.
We really wanted to make sure that the money that we donated stayed within Montana. And that the big reason why we chose the Montana Wildfire Relief Fund was that we saw that the Montana Television Network was going to be matching donations up to $50,000. So we saw that and said, hey, why don't we put our money, the $25,000, into that fund, and hopefully that'll be matched and have the opportunity to really impact families in need, you know.
Just incredible. KBZK and KXLF and our Montana television network stations across the state, like we say, have partnered with the Montana Community Foundation to create that Montana Wildfire Relief Fund. So in order to donate and to get those monies matched, log on to KBZK or KXLF.com/wildfire fund. Our MTN stations are going to match that first 50K. Donations are coming in from around Montana and around the globe. This morning, a donation was received from a person in Houston. How nice is that? As folks there have been dealing with their own Hurricane Harvey Relief Fund. And right now, more than $48,000 have been donated from 23 states. We're $2,000 away from making that grant go. It's just incredible. In other news this morning, if you think that there's some more road construction than usual in Bozeman, you're absolutely right. MTN's Morgan Davies takes a look at how this summer of construction plays into business and tourism in the Bozeman area.
Probably have the most ambitious road construction season in recent history in Bozeman.
It seems just about everywhere you turn, there is road construction. Although it may be a headache right now for drivers, the Chamber and Public Works says this is necessary for the community.
Is really the backbone of commerce. And so how our system works, how it's performing, how it's being funded, what challenges we have, I think is really important for the business community to understand and the community in general to understand.
The Chamber of Commerce also looks at the amount of visitors Bozeman sees each year. They realize that the flow of traffic throughout the city makes for a better experience for tourists as well.
They're our economic generator from $5.2 million visitors to get to our stores and storefronts to be able to shop and do what they need to do.
But why has this year been so intense for construction? Well, Public Works wants to get a handle on managing the growth in a way that will help these road systems be efficient and functional as the population continues to go up.
We've been talking about this for several years. We have a complete network. I think the system performs much better, right? We'll still have growth, but I think we try to alleviate some of the pinch points. We've got a ways to go, but we are, I think, starting to make some progress.
Woolard says the construction will continue until we begin to see snow. Reporting in Bozeman, Morgan Davies, MTN News.
Which could happen tonight. For a complete list of construction projects happening around town, of course, you can visit us online. It is a quick break. We're back in just a couple of moments. Stay with us.
Martinez at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, where scientists are preparing for the end of a historic mission to Saturn. I'll have the details coming up.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS this morning, the latest on the Florida nursing home tragedy. We'll talk with Hollywood's mayor and police chief. We'll ask about the investigation into why patients were left in sweltering conditions. And first on CBS this morning, new findings about the dangers that distracted drivers pose to your children as they leave school. See you at 7.